from the time he was in college and has kept copious notes of every practice and every game he has ever played in or practiced in. Alley-oop for Hughes, and the pass from Iverson. McCullough vacuums it in, and they keep it alive as Iverson dances on Brown. Oh, they carried the ball on the side. Fourth turnover.
I got a kick out of the official. I hope Allen didn't do what he did in that demonstration of how Allen did it.
That was just Kersey. Iverson's got 2 of the Philadelphia 4 turnovers. As Willis had it knocked away by Geiger, picked up by McCullough. 3-on-2 Snow to Iverson, sliding in for 2.
And that started from the defensive end of the court, and that's what Larry needs them to do. They're not shooting well enough not to defend very aggressively so that they can get out and get some transition baskets.
Iverson with 14. He's averaging 29 a game as Brown feeds Willis. McCullough is there, and a whistle inside on the rookie, whose arm was straight instead of bent. You got to have that arm when defending bent, and he picks up his 3rd foul. He'll quickly leave, and they bring back in Billy Owens.
Well, and I think that they're trying to compensate a lot for the fact that Hill is not here, and so Larry is probably going to rotate a lot of his size to try to make up for it. I think that's one of the reasons why you see Matt Geiger playing a long time, limping as much as he is, because it's a difficult situation with Tyrone Hill not being here.
And no Theo Ratliff as well.
Too much time.
A Curry 3. Rebound fought for it. Geiger took a swipe at Willis when he was going after the ball, and a foul called on Matt Geiger, and you can see
what you ordinarily would.
Curry to Bogues, who is open on the shot. He can't get it. Rebound by Snow. 2-on-1 with Iverson, who will pull up and can't get it from 15. Rebound by D. Brown.
Well, at least they're getting out in transition, though, as opposed to standing and just having to depend on the half-court sets.
Curry, another miss. Curry has it since he's come off the bench. Great feed by Brown to Davis.
Well, they're standing around. I mean, you're standing around and you're not boxing out and you're not getting rebounds. The very things that they're practicing today, they've got to be able to do. That's what drives the coach crazy.
Toronto by 4, approaching 7 to play here in the first half as Owens gets by Bogues with the pass to Snow. He's missed 4 in a row. Antonio Davis with the rebound. Here comes Curry. Outlet caught by Bogues. Back to Curry. Davis to Brown. D. Brown for 3. His second attempt from long range tonight. Rebound by Hughes. Toronto back nicely on defense.
He might have taken that one a little too quick, even though he's shooting well from behind the 3-point mark.
Slithering is Iverson. Davis with another rebound. He's collected 9 so far in this game. Bogues to Willis. And he had the lead on Geiger, but couldn't convert. Snow the other way. A track meet in Philadelphia. It's Iverson through traffic. And to Snow with Geiger from outside, shooting 29% from the field.
Well, 29% from all the time when you're open, you're not open. You know, if you're involved in a game, you're tired, you've been out there a long time. They've got to keep you out there because Tyrone Hill is hurt. Even though you're open in that position, you might be better off passing to someone else.
Here's Davis bulldozing his way inside on the smaller and weaker Owens, and a foul called on the veteran Billy Owens. And a timeout on the floor. 6:06 in the second. Raptors by 4.
The thing I was impressed with is his philosophy about the game. Somebody is in charge, and it's not the players. However, I'm willing to sit down with the older players, the more experienced players, and get their input. But I have to make the decision as the basketball coach of the organization. I love the demands that he made on him. He said no cell phones, no pages in the locker room. The older players imposed that. I thought that that was good. You've got to have order.
He is very organized. Bogues to Davis, rejected by Geiger inside.
Great play on Geiger's part. Great play.
Brown to Davis. Another rejection by Geiger. Then Kevin Willis is there. Too much. They're coming in waves for the Raptors.
But he didn't get the support. Geiger did his job that time. They're beating them to too many loose balls. I'm surprised that the difference in score isn't more than 6.
Raptors have their biggest lead. 4 of 15 from the field in this quarter. Iverson cans one from the wing. In the second quarter, Philly is only shooting 30%.
Well, that's one of the reasons why they have to apply more defensive pressure so they can get out and get high percentage layups.
And look at the rebounding advantage for Toronto. +9 inside for Davis. Knocked away by Philadelphia and 11 to shoot. Geiger can't getting it done on the offense side, so he's going to try on the defense.
Well, and he's in there by himself. He gets his hand on it. Nobody goes to pick it up. He goes over and gives some help right here, and then they beat him to the loose ball and put him up. I mean, that's the thing that will frustrate you if you're giving the kind of help. Most post guys, man, end up scoring it.
Brown will look to lob. Instead goes to McGrady. A great fake on Iverson, and the result as the Raptors have their biggest lead of 6.
Well, that's ridiculous. I mean, the basket's too easy, right under your own basket.
Larry Hughes. Iverson working on Brown, doubled and chased by Bogues and Brown. Geiger with another miss outside. He has started tonight without a single field goal in his 4 shots, and they've got Bogues the other way.
Somebody better tell Geiger that sometimes when you open, the other team knows you're open.
It's McGrady. Starting tonight, usually the 6th man. What a wonderful pass by Tracy McGrady in his 3rd year out of high school basketball.
Well, his size permits him to do that because Larry wanted him to pressure the ball, but he can just reach over his man and throw the pass in.
It's Hughes and the Geiger screen, but they fight through it, and it goes back inside to Geiger. Another miss. Rebound by Willis. Outlet caught by Tracy McGrady. It's Brown for 3. Good! Right between the eyes. D. Brown has come off the bench with 11 points for the Raptors.
Well, and they're getting some of the kind of baskets which Larry wanted to get off of his defense. You know, they're active, they're aggressive, they've got their more experienced players in the game, and they're getting out and getting the easy basket. Where they came down, they got a 3-point shot or a deep jump shot, and they got it off a transition with no one there.
Remember, D. Brown now was starting at the point guard, but now they bring him off the bench, and he's seeing a lot of time.
We knock 2 of their fucking guys down. You understand? Yeah. Right? Push it at them.
Last year, D. Brown was the top scorer off the bench in the entire NBA, and he's showing why tonight with his 11 in dramatic fashion.
Well, and I like the way he reacts to that. I think that's the difference between a D. Brown and you look at the kids like Hughes on the 76ers. D. Brown understands that I can play just as much coming off of the bench, particularly if I play well. I can play just as much, particularly if we win it, I can get as much satisfaction. But Hughes has got to grow into that.
7-0 run right now over the last minute and a half by the Toronto Raptors as Iverson fights for his position, launches the shot, rebound by McGrady, who's done it all tonight for Toronto. Under 4 to play in the first half. Snow is on Brown. Screen by Davis. Geiger with the flash of defense. Brown with another 3. Rebound hauled in by Antonio Davis.
Well, they have to rebound again. I mean, time and time again, you're repeating the fact that, you know, these guys are shooting, they're getting second shots, they're beating people to the ball, you know, and you still have a relatively close ball game. But in the same token, this difference should be even much more. Look, again, offensive rebounds. You got to keep them off the ball.
Uncovered, untouched, uncontested. Davis flips it back in. He's got 12 rebounds tonight, and he's got 6 points.
I'm going to tell you, in all fairness to Geiger, the crowd's getting on him. I've been pretty hard on him. You're talking about a young man who's just had a knee operation. You're also talking about a guy that's missing Tyrone Hill, so he can't sit down. Larry's got to keep him out there, so he's in a tough position.
It's Willis banging inside to Geiger, who picks up the foul. Or is it? It was on Geiger with 3:02 to play here. And now Toronto extends their biggest lead of the game, 49-34. Here's Iverson. Bullets a pass into Owens. Oakley is back in the game. And the shot with Alvin Williams at the point is no good. Rebound by McGrady. In fact, they're going to put Bogues at the point. Williams at the 2. McGrady at the 3. And driving inside with the reverse is Kevin Willis.
Great reverse, great pass by McGrady. McGrady is tough in that position for his size. I mean, he does a good job of getting the ball to the right people at the right time. I like his judgment.
Iverson with the miss outside. Philadelphia has grown very cold. Just 34% shooting for the game as they fight for it inside. And
the indication that Geiger's leg is bothering him is he could have walked to the basket and made a layup.
Iverson has 6 of Philadelphia's 7 second quarter points. McCullough taps it up and in. He's got 7 off the bench. He's averaging 6 a game. That stops a 13-0 Toronto run. Charles Oakley, the ex-New York Knick, to McGrady. To Kevin Willis, drawing the double with Hughes and McCullough. McGrady now crashing into Snow in a travel. That's the 5th Toronto turnover tonight.
Well, they made the trap. I think one of the things that Larry feels that he's got to do is he's got to try to force the tempo of this thing defensively so that he can get some easy baskets, because they aren't shooting the ball well from the outside at all. The Muggsy is denying Allen the ball. They talked about this matchup, the Muggsy getting under him.
Iverson floats, rebound by Charles Oakley, who last year missed the playoffs for the first time in his long career. He had been to the playoffs 13 consecutive years until last season. But he re-signed with the Raptors nonetheless, and the shot outside, up and in by Philadelphia native Alvin Williams. He's got 7. It's Iverson around the defensive goal to really let him shoot after he said, hey, I'll give you a try, and then if it's not going to work, I'm going to back off.
Well, and is anybody else scoring from the outside other than Allen on that team? A lot of times he's taking poor shots. But, you know what I mean? But when you really look at the team, he is the offense in the half-court sets.
Brady tripped inadvertently by Hughes, who was defending on the play. And Larry Hughes, a number 8 pick overall in the draft last year out of St. Louis, picks up the foul. He was the freshman of the year at St. Louis University, then opted to go pro.
Yeah, and I think, Kevin, he's a very outstanding player. You know, it's been
Smith and Ernie Johnson in studio for our AT&T halftime report. Coming up next. And a half minute to play here in the half. The grinding at Iverson can't watch it work, and a foul is called inside. Charles Oakley. Or do you mean the other way around?
Well, and truthfully, on this team, the way it's playing offensively in there, I think he should be taking the shots.
Here comes Williams. Iverson is defending. It's short. The rebound by Snow. Ahead to Hughes. The drive by Oakley. And to the rack.
That's the talent I'm talking about, Kevin. With this kid, it's just a question of a confident level. If he gets to the confident level that Allen has, I think that you'll see a lot of special things going on with him. I always felt that moving Iverson to the 2 position sort of hurt this kid a little bit, because it negated a lot of his playing time, because he's not the most aggressive 3-man, has to rebound a lot more and defend against a bigger guy.
Willis had it knocked away as the buzzer sounds, and we're at halftime here in Philadelphia with the Toronto Raptors leading 55-41. Great play by Tracy McGrady. 14 tonight. He's averaging just under 13 a game. He had 4 assists as well, going 5 of 8 from the field. Ernie Johnson is next from Atlanta. Raptors here on top by 14. Carter with 8 quick ones, all in the first quarter of play.
Well, and then 8 quick ones, 8 exciting ones, too.
And what about Allen Iverson?
Well, you know, Allen takes a lot of shots, and I think he needs to take a lot of shots on this team. It's amazing to me that a person can be out as long as he's been out and still come back and be that integral part of an offense. The other guys are standing around a little bit. You know, I'm sure he's not shooting a great percentage, but I'm not certain if I weren't Larry, I wouldn't want him to even take more shots than he's taking.
Well, John, that's got to be a problem, though, because you sometimes become so mesmerized watching Iverson work that you just kind of stand around.
Disgusted by the rebounding. They were out-rebounded 36-21. He said Geiger in foul trouble. Also McCullough in foul trouble. He has to save George Lintz to play the big positions in case one of those guys goes into foul trouble. I asked about Allen Iverson's play, the number of shots, the selection. He said, I can't comment, or I don't want to comment on that. You're watching the game. Kevin?
Wow.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
We are indeed watching it.
Well, here we go now, beginning the second half with Iverson on Alvin Williams. There's Vince Carter back in over Lynch, right down the middle.
And he's tough if he hits that shot. And, you know, I'm telling you, he's going to be so dangerous, this kid, because if he can make that shot and come into the basket with those acrobatic dunks that he makes, it's going to be interesting to watch.
Iverson going inside, sneaking a pass off the snow, finding Lynch, rotating outside to Billy Owens. He'll watch it drop.
Well, Owens is another one of those players like Hughes that I think has got to lift his level of confidence and join in with Allen, particularly in some of the offensive juice that they need.
Just into the third quarter. 43% shooting by the Raptors tonight, 36% shooting for Philadelphia. That pass whistles out of bounds.
Well, and that's because Lynch did a good job. He sealed him in. Lynch is starting to give him a couple of good looks. He's denying him the basketball. He's pushed him a little bit. Got to be a little bit more aggressive on Carter now because Carter's getting off. And later in the game, he gets tougher ordinarily.
Here's Billy Owens, one time the high school player of the year out of Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Iverson feeds to Lynch. Shot clock at 7. Snow with the screen from Lynch and the pass to Geiger. Oh, and he got one to go. Finally.
And he looks at he glares at the crowd. I like this kid's moxie. And he gets healthy, he'll be fine.
Williams looking for Davis, who had a scintillating first half with 13 rebounds. Knocked away. Iverson the other way. And Geiger again. The fake, the spin, the drive, and it's lost inside. Picked up by Davis. 3-on-2. McGrady. Great pass to Williams, who couldn't quite find the handle. Iverson picks up his first.
Well, and look at George Lynch. He's trying to stop Carter from getting the ball, man. That was one of the things I said earlier. You got to either double him, you got to stop him from getting it. Then he gets behind him and seals it. They try to throw the lob, and the lob goes out of bounds. You've got to give this kid a lot of different looks because now he can face the basket, he can penetrate well, and he cuts well without the basketball.
Alvin Williams at the free throw line. He was involved in that trade with Anderson and Portland. Stoudemire went out there.
Well, and that's the trouble spot, the point position, but certainly Williams has the heart. You know, that's why I don't understand. I'd like to see the 76ers extend their defense and challenge that point guard position a little bit more on Toronto.
Now they got Carter on Iverson. Quick pass out to Owens. Oh, and he buries a three.
Allen caused it by the penetration, and he passed the ball out. Now, Owens has got to hit that shot, and some other player on this team of the 76ers has to hit the outside shot, or they better get some transition baskets.
Owens working on Carter. Shot clock at 10. Vince Carter for 2. The rebound by the leaping Iverson. They got a 2 on, make it 3-on-1. Behind the back to Snow. Oh, what a pass by Allen Iverson.
Showtime.
Philadelphia, John, has gone 4 of 4 to begin this quarter of play.
Yeah, they definitely have. They've gotten out on the break. They've created a different rhythm a little bit. And Billy Owens has hit a couple outside shots. And that's what's going to get them a better shooting percentage because then they can get out and run a little bit more.
It's Snow with the seductive fake, and he feeds outside to Owens. Iverson, the number 2 3-point shooter in the NBA. Trolling the perimeter. The mismatch on Davis. The 3. And the rebound by Lynch coming out of no place. To Geiger.
Great play on Lynch's bar. He's getting involved defensively. He's rebounding now. He made a great pass to Geiger. How soon they forget. Now the crowd is cheering for Geiger.
6-point game, but the passing of Lynch was a wonderful play. And the passing of Allen Iverson on this 3-on-1. Snow converts.
Into the first half, but still set a floor record with 19 field goal attempts in a half. Coach told him to go out, get the other players involved. During the third quarter, he has taken only 1 shot, and that came after 3.5 minutes. During that timeout, nothing. So congratulations and applause and good going to Iverson in the huddle.
Great job, Craig. Thank you very much. Yeah, Iverson can pass about as well as any guard in the league as well. And we know he can shoot, but he can pass as well.
Well, he's a very good passer, but you've got to be passing the ball to somebody who wants to shoot it and somebody who's confident when they shoot.
Tracy McGrady showed that confidence in the first half, but misses right there. Philadelphia is on an 11-1 run. The last, just under 3 minutes of play of this Third quarter. Owens. The screen by Geiger for Iverson, off balance, missing the shot over the backboard and out of bounds, and Toronto will take it the other way. No substitutions on that last timeout.
Well, Philadelphia's extending their defense a little bit more and becoming a little bit more aggressive, and they'll get out and get baskets off of this if they continue to do it.
It's Carter driving on Lynch, trying to scoop it up. His body's flying all over the floor, and a foul is called for the second time. It's assessed to Vince Carter. Well, he was caroling off everybody inside.
Well, and I think Lynch is doing a great job of challenging him. You know, Lynch is putting a lot of pressure on him, a little bit of pushing, you know, and as a result, Geiger got there and made a great play.
Brady's on Snow. Here comes Owens, running a pass to Geiger. Rebound by McGrady. But Matt Geiger tonight has struggled from the field. He's hit 2 shots. He's got 7 points. Carter the fadeaway. Rebound by Geiger. Oh, nice pass to Iverson. And a foul assessed inside on Charles Oakley.
Very good pass by Geiger. You know, they don't like it when he's coming down as a trailer and takes that shot, but actually the shot that he took before that was not a bad shot. He was in a posted position. He took the shot he should have taken. He just didn't make the shot.
You know, Craig Sager was telling us about the adjustment that Larry Brown made at halftime. Iverson to pass more and get others involved, but it's one of many adjustments Larry has made going into the second half.
Well, and I think you have to make that adjustment. One of the things that I think that I see him doing now is extending his defense a little bit, but in order to do that, you have to score. They have not been scoring, and you've got to get out and put pressure on the team because the 76ers actually are a great outside shooting team. Allen gets the ball, he dribbles around and creates his own shot. If he dishes it out, he's not dishing it out to someone who's a great outside shooter.
And Craig Sager, this is where Larry Brown has excelled his entire coaching career, moving on the fly like this.
Well, it is, but also we mentioned earlier and several times about not having Tyrone Hill and Theo Ratliff, but they're also missing another big man, Nazim Mohammed, who's on the injured list with that lower back strain. So he's been very complimentary about Geiger despite the poor shooting because he is hustling and he is making some rebounds and making things happen.
There's a turnover. Bruce Bowen.
Well, now they're picking up loose balls.
And Snow. Bogues is in. Iverson is open. Rebound by Lynch. A 3 by Allen Iverson. Rebound by Kevin Willis out there at McGrady, Bogues. Antonio Davis, who gets the feed from Bogues. Carter remains. The hook won't go. Rebound by Snow.
Well, this is a totally different 76ers team. I like the energy level. I like the confidence with which they're playing now. A lot of things aren't going well for them, but they're playing with a total different amount of confidence. Whatever Larry told them was the right thing.
Well, just some energy. I mean, if nothing else, just energy.
Absolutely. You know, just the look of confidence, the body language. Before, I just couldn't understand it, particularly on your own home court.
Geiger over Willis. In and out. Rebound by Davis. 15th rebound and hailed by Antonio Davis.
Well, and I think Toronto's got to be careful right here. They need a good basket. They need good movement. They need to get involved a little bit because this team is scoring off of their misses.
Carter, it's almost as if he's got wings hanging in the air.
He does have wings.
Wow.
They're just hidden from us.
He's floating. 60-53. Toronto with a lead of 7. They've been up by as many as 17 in this game. The defense by Willis, and the leader inside by Bruce Bowen, the ex-Boston Celtics.
Smart. He was left open. He didn't take the shot. He didn't like the way it felt. And that's what Geiger made a mistake in doing early. Penetrated, got in the lane, and got the shot he could make.
Now a 5-point game. Raptors, who beat Indiana last night. Pacers have been red hot. The drive by Carter, the feed to Davis. Bogues to Willis over Geiger. And Geiger over the shot.
Geiger's doing a good job, and they're getting out and running.
Look out. Oh, and he goes flying into the first row with bad knee and all, hustling for the ball. That is appreciated by the crowd.
Well, it should be appreciated. In the pass that Allen threw him, he should not have thrown because he should know that he's playing with a guy that's having that has a bad leg, a guy that has to play an extended amount of time because of all the front court guys that are out. Even though it was open, sometimes it's not good to make that pass on a run to a big guy.
6'4" kid took a punt right there. He took a shot.
He's a tough guy. I like him. I like his attitude towards everything. The crowd, everybody.
Toronto's had 5 turnovers in this quarter. Here comes Carter. The drive. He hangs. It's like he's in slow motion when he launches. And gets up in the air like that. The second foul is put on Allen Iverson.
Well, and you look, they're challenging passes. That's what Larry practiced today. They're putting pressure, covering up the passes, and he emphasized covering passes, pressuring the ball. Everybody's looking to make a support. He comes in, he throws a shot off balance, and he got fouled. But the same token, Philly's putting a lot more defense, and I like their rhythm now. The rhythm of the game is a little bit different from the way it was earlier.
Vince Carter, 8th in NBA scoring. Last year as Rookie of the Year in the NBA, and there really was very little doubt that he would capture that. Off to a great start again this season. He's got 13 points in this game.
Well, and he does it within the context of his team extremely well.
Here's Iverson 0-4 from the field in this quarter. Knocked away. Good defense by Carter. Loose and rolling out of bounds off Toronto.
Well, it's a very interesting matchup in watching Muggsy guard Allen, because Muggsy sees it as a challenge. One of the things that Larry was concerned about is when Allen gets in the game, he penetrates so much and nobody rotates back that they're susceptible to be run against them. So Philly's got to be careful when Allen does penetrate.
Timeout.
Jumpers to ever be in the game, but Vince Carter, he's one of those guys that could take a quarter off the backboard and put one up there.
We saw him do it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Inbound pass knocked away by the leaping Carter, picked up by Bogues, who is quickly fouled by Allen Iverson. And that's the third on Allen.
Well, 2 things. It usually happens in the game when you make a careless mistake on the inbound pass, then out of frustration, Allen makes a dumb foul. You know, there's 2 mistakes that occur when carelessness, and you've got to, particularly now at this point of the game, everybody's got to stay focused and stay intense.
Billy Owens is in along with the rookie Todd McCullough now for Philadelphia. Bogues manning the point. McGrady had a great first half. He works by Snow, crashing into McCullough, lost the ball inside. Another Toronto turnover. 6 in this quarter. It's Carter to McGrady.
McGrady's tough. He's tough. You know, he's got great size, inside, outside. He's tough.
He's got 16 points tonight, too. It's Allen Iverson throwing it away. Carter picked it up. Here comes McGrady. Bogues. For Davis. And out of bounds and off of Toronto. Utah tonight beats Boston by 10. And Indiana, losing last night to Toronto, takes care of Chicago. New Jersey looking to record a rare win with Stephon Marbury leading the way in other scores, as you see Iverson shooting and missing over Bogues. Iverson has struggled not hitting any of his 5 shots in this third quarter. He does have 2 assists, which Larry Brown was looking for at halftime.
Well, he might have been looking for it, but he doesn't get paid for assists.
Carter. Shot clock at 5. Davis, Willis, Carter, Bogues. Great defense by Allen Iverson. And a 24-second shot clock violation.
Well, and Muggsy does get paid for assists, and it's pretty difficult to throw in the ball with the clock running down like that. Maybe Vince should have created something off of that.
Snow will check out. Hughes comes back in. Iverson will lead. McKee comes in. When Allen Iverson, as you take a look at the turnover story in this quarter, when Allen Iverson fractured his right thumb, Aaron McKee came in, took his place, and led the team in scoring those 10 games he was gone. But now they're not going to let Hughes check in, and Iverson comes back out.
Well, and that's the thing that has to happen. The other players have to blend in, and Larry talked about that, along with Allen Iverson is going to be Allen Iverson, and I kind of like him being that. But in the same token, the other players have to realize that they have to step up and can't just sit around and watch him play offense.
Billy Owens with a bad knee and a fractured finger last year. 6 to shoot for Iverson. There he goes. He finally puts the dagger in. He's got 23. Just under 3 to play here in the third.
You know, the irony of this is they tried to take Allen out of the game. The illegal substitution put him back in the game, and then he hits a shot. Women will stay out there.
A miss. Rebound by McKee. Up court he runs, feeding to Iverson. Dances on McGrady. Wow. That is incredible.
Well, he's really working on his assists. He's really working on them.
He corkscrews up, gets that to go. Raptors now by a meager 4 after leading by 17. Willis across the lane with power right into McCullough.
Great play, and it's an inside play. Early in the game, Toronto was getting putbacks and layups. Then they went to the jump shot, which ignited a lot of the fast break baskets that Philadelphia's been able to get.
Approaching 2 to play in the third. The driving and slashing Iverson. Rebound, Lynch. Knocked away inside. Here comes Bones. The stutter step works around Owens. Careful with the ball. And out of bounds off of Carter. The 15th Toronto turnover.
Willis does a great job. He catches the ball in the low post position. He takes it to the basket, and that's a very high percentage shot as opposed to some of the jumpers that they were taking.
Iverson will stay in the game. They take out Owens. They put in Hughes to join McCullough. Aaron McKee along with George Lynch. And here's Iverson with Bones. Bullets a pass into McKee. Double. McCullough!
Breakdown in the defense. They should have boxed out. They realized it themselves, and he got to put it back.
41% shooting for the Raptors, 38% shooting for the Philadelphia 76ers. Toronto, 9 turnovers this quarter. D. Brown is back in. He electrified their team in the first half. Carter knocked it away and out of bounds with the defense as he was guarding Iverson.
Well, and he took a gamble, and the gamble paid off, because had he missed that, basically that's a bad principle on a rebound or a stolen ball. You've got to sprint back to defense. Carter took a chance on the steal, because had he missed that, the 76ers would have had a layup. Hughes was down open on the other side. I love the intensity now, Kevin, of the 76ers. Now they've picked up their defense. Everything is harder for Toronto now.
It's a dramatically different game in the second half. Iverson works on both, fights for position and hits it.
He just took it in the lane and just jumped over.
Now some full court pressure.
Here comes the pressure. The crowd's getting involved in this, and this is what Larry wants.
Moves around the Oakley screen. He's out there with Carter, Willis, and Brown. It's D. Brown to Charles Oakley, who puts up a 2 and fans. Willis is there.
God, it's terrible when you play that kind of defense and you let him get an easy putback like that.
He just snuck the back of the rookie.
And that's what experience will do for you.
Oh, Allen Iverson, right between the eyes. 1-point game. 10 points in this third quarter. Bogues is down. Lynch is on him. Carter gets it off to Oakley. Finding Willis. Doubled by Lynch. Outside to Brown. Nice fake. And back to Oakley. Over McCullough.
Charles Oakley, experience again in big baskets at big times.
Final seconds in the third. Oh, it goes from Iverson to Hughes. There's Bogues the other way. 2 seconds, the shot. Iverson was there, altering it with his defense.
Well, it was a great segment. He came down, he made a great pass, he's hit some great shots. He can't hustle back because he went too deep and got back to get in the way of Muggsy in that shot.
Iverson will leave with a scintillating 29 points in the game, 10 in the third quarter. Resuscitating the 76ers, who trailed at halftime by 14 and in the first half by 17.
And we must remember, Kevin, that other than the illegal substitute, Allen would have been off of the floor.
That's right.
I think he convinced Larry of a little something just there, leaving him out. That's why Larry is smart. He can make a decision and change his mind, and that's the sign of a good coach.
Shot no good by D. Brown. The crowd out of their seat And on their feet with plays like this from Allen Iverson to Larry Hughes. Buckle up, the fourth quarter's right around the corner with the Toronto Raptors losing a huge lead. Defense by Philadelphia forcing a one-point game as we go to the fourth.
He wants to play. I think I'd want him out there too.
Here's Hughes, triple team, and the defense forces a wild pass, which is retrieved by Lynch, who takes it across the lane to McKee with 6 to shoot. And the rebound cradled by Vince Carter. That's his first rebound tonight. Muggsy Bogues the other way. We're just beginning the fourth quarter from Philadelphia. It's Carter to Willis. And a foul call on the rookie McCullough. McCullough was a second-round pick by Larry Brown out of Washington. Fourth foul on him.
Well, and I think Toronto right now has to do a little something to change the tempo. Maybe answer back with a little bit.
Career took off, went to Michigan State. He's had a long and very solid NBA career. As you take a look at John Calipari talking with the young center, Todd McCullough. Calipari, the coach of the Nets last year, and the one-time coach of UMass in a Final Four berth. And a lunging move by Willis knocks it away from Geiger with the shot clock at 12.
Well, and that's that aggressive defense. I said they've got to answer them. The 76ers came out, got more aggressive, got out and got easy baskets. Now we need a little bit more aggressiveness coming from the other team now. That's it.
He slipped, and Hughes goes down. Carter leapt on him, and they call the jump ball.
Well, and you will slip if you were playing against aggressive defense.
We need to get a shot of how far off the floor Carter gets on this jump ball. We don't see it often. Let's see if we can measure in feet how high he gets up, because, I mean, he'll sky. A couple feet at least. Here comes McKee out to Hughes. Nice move elusively around Carter. Oakley with the rebound and hails it on the baseline.
This kid Hughes is not playing with the confidence that he should be playing with, particularly offensive. He's got too many offensive skills to play as passively as he's playing.
Well, there have been some trade rumors about him. He's not happy with his minutes, and he and Larry Brown, Larry told us today, meet every 2 days, one-on-one. A pass to Willis, fights for it inside, and got it to go in as he tries to carve up the middle of the Philadelphia interior. He's got 17 off the bench.
Well, that's that inside scoring. You've got to get some short baskets, and they should try to take advantage of the fact that Hill is not here. And they're demanded inside.
Hughes with the drive. Rebound taken down by Oakley, knocked away by Lynch. And a whistle and a foul blown on George Lynch of Philadelphia. The ex-Lakers leaving Snow and Lynch. So we got Iverson, McKee, Owens, Geiger, and Hughes.
And an extended defense, Kevin. Larry's going to keep the pressure on. He likes what he sees. He sniffed around. He found what he liked, and he hopes to keep this team doing that.
Raptors on top, 73-68. Brown for 3. Missing there. Rebound is brought down by Geiger. Here comes Iverson, triggering it off to McKee. The drive and the slash and the foul.
Becomes an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year. If he makes the trade and McGrady leaves, he'll have nothing whatsoever to show for Larry Hughes. So Billy King, rather, said that he turned it down today and he doesn't think it's going to happen.
Well, and it's interesting. You look at it, if I'm Butch Carter right now and looking at how McGrady is playing, I wouldn't let him go with anything. But you look at Larry Hughes, and I'm certain that the money factors, cap factors that are involved in this, and your flexibility to maneuver other players as well as him. But if you look at Larry Hughes, he's one of the 76ers players that I think has been hurt by Allen Iverson at moving to the 2 spot, because that's taking time away from him, and his ego is such is that he's not a role player. This kid has star potential himself, has offensive potential himself, and right now he's just questioning himself. He's a much better offensive player than he's playing.
Nice defense by Billy Owens. 16th Toronto turnover. Iverson, who has a dazzling array of moves, trying to show us another one as he took it inside with a plunge and a ball is,
What was it called?
a foul was assessed D. Brown, and that is his first. Iverson feeds off to McKee.
Well, McKee had Muggsy posted, and he waved Allen off, although Allen must have seen Davis coming to make the trap.
Out of bounds and off of Philadelphia. That is the 10th 76er turnover tonight. 9.5 to play. Larry Brown's team down by 17 in the first half. 14 at halftime. Have come to within 1 here in the second half. The turnover story there. Right now the Raptors on top by 3. It's McGrady. Doubled. Out to Bones. Inside to Davis. Lost it. Here comes Hughes. Another turnover. Hughes inside to the right. Oh, what a nasty play.
That's that offensive ability that I'm talking about.
When he gets going, John, he creates a lot of chaos on the offensive end.
Well, he can create a lot of chaos, and that's what I'm saying. I don't blame Larry for what he's doing with Allen. Allen requires a lot of attention, particularly in the two-guard position. But it takes a lot away from this kid because he's not a role player. He's not a kid that's willing to just sit around and let Allen score. He wants to participate. It's not a question of selfishness. It's a question of style of play. And you got to solve that. It's a dilemma for a coach.
Turned it over the last 2 times they've taken it down the floor. Here comes Davis driving on Geiger, and a foul called on Geiger. And let's send it over to Craig.
Well, Tracy McGrady and Larry Hughes each make $1.7 billion, so the trade could easily be made. But Billy King, the general manager, points out that Hughes is under the new collective bargaining agreement, and he's going to be a Sixer for 4 years, and then they have an option to match another offer. So if he's going to make a trade, he says it's got to be for a draft pick, possibly a player. He's not going to do it for a free agent that could leave at the end of the year.
And you know what, Craig? Today is the first day that newly signed players this past summer can be traded. And I'm sure that if there is anything brewing, that Peter will have it after the game and talk about what have been a couple of proposed trades. I know that Terrell Brandon, as the timeout is taken here by Toronto, a couple proposed trades have involved Brandon of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And other names will float now as we get past this magical December 15th date.
Yeah, but I tell you what, you float McGrady's name and you float Hughes' name. You can close your eyes, either one of those guys, you got a pretty doggone good player, because both of those are nothing but babies.
Yeah.
And their games are in front of them. We don't even know the kind of players that these 2 kids are going to become. We only know what we see now.
Problem is they got to grow up, though. That's and sometimes be an arduous experience for the team and the coach.
But I tell you what, I'd love to go through that experience.
Vince Carter missing. We're tied at 73, and here comes Aaron McKee. Philadelphia's last lead, late first quarter. A paralyzing move by Hughes. It won't go. And a foul inside. It's called on the Toronto Raptors, and they assess it on McGrady. He's got 3. Great move, but great defense.
Well, and that's what has to happen. Both teams are stepping up now, and they understand that they have to go up, and that's a great challenge. I mean, he got up and put his hands up. Davis had his hands right up there.
Hughes and McGrady. Oakley is guarding Owens. To Iverson for 2. And a possible lead, and the rebound by Charles Oakley of the Toronto Raptors. He's got 9 tonight. He's averaging 9 a game. McGrady flips it out to Brown for 3. Rebound climbing the ladder was Owens. Here comes Hughes at the other end. Owens for 3. 2 consecutive trips, 2 consecutive 76er misses. We are still tied at 73.
Well, they missed, but they had good looks. They came down, they took the quick shot, they defended much better. As a result of it, they're getting down and getting good looks.
Oakley breaks the tie, and Toronto has the lead.
Experience, old Mr. Reliable. When you ask Butch Carter, he says that Oakley is a sound, solid foundation of this team.
And Oakley was the guy sought by a lot of teams this summer. The Lakers being one of them. Hughes driving down the lane. The rebound by Oakley's got 10.
Big shot, big rebound, big experience. That's why he's blended in these older guys. At this point of the game, you're coming down to 7-18 in the ball game, and experience is going to count. It's not going to just be athleticism.
It's Carter with the move, and a nice one it was. As he chisels room, puts in his 15th point, and gives the Raptors a 4.77-73 lead. Vince Carter, the Rookie of the Year a season ago, showing why. Timeout.
If the The NBA's on the Superstation. Morning leads the top team in the Eastern Conference against perennial power Utah in a battle for conference supremacy. Jazz and Heat, 8 Eastern, next Wednesday on the Superstation.
Coming in January only on TBS, each week an all-new original series, Ripley's Believe It or Not, premiering January 12th. Only on TBS, and believe it or not, we got 7:08 to play here in the fourth quarter with the Raptors on top of Philadelphia 77-73. Sixers came in 11-12, and the Raptors at 13-8. Hughes in a straitjacket gets it away with the pass to Owens and picked off by Carter. And here comes D. Brown. McCray with a nice spin move inside.
And Geiger with the rebound.
Philadelphia 1 of 8 shooting from the floor in this quarter. After a devastating end to the third. A spoon feed pass from Hughes to Owens, who travels inside.
Great penetration and great pass on the pass of Hughes, too. You know, Toronto has definitely stepped up their defense. If you look at it, and Oakley is involved almost in every play, you know, it's showing the experience. They're hustling. They had to step up because the tempo was not going in their favor. We're getting into a late game situation where experience is going to be a factor.
Here comes Carter. Doubled and tried to pass it. McKee knocked it away. Hughes has it. He's cleared for takeoff. Did he pull something? I don't think he knows.
Well, I don't think he has. I think he's enjoying the moment. He was hit. He was hit by Oakley as he went up, which is lucky that he didn't get hurt. I don't think Charles meant to do it.
Larry Hughes, a tough background, a tough upbringing in St. Louis, and he has a younger brother who's 14. The story was well told last year, who received a heart transplant 2 years ago, and Larry is his primary provider. So he's got a lot on his shoulders for a kid who's only 20 years old.
Well, he's got a lot of game in front of him, and I definitely feel that he's some offensive player. And when his confidence level comes back to the way it was at the end of last year when they went into the playoffs, I think he'll be just fine.
Hughes has 10 points and 6 in this quarter, and here comes Carter. Looking for Davis. Plowing into Geiger. Picked up by Davis again. Wide open is McCray. Oh!
Can't happen. Can't let him out hustle you for loose balls like that. Not at this point of the game. Davis deserves a lot of credit with his persistence after that.
Well, he's got a career high 17 rebounds tonight. Approaching 5.5 to play in the fourth. Iverson driving on Brown over Oakley. Geiger is there. Can't tap it in. Here comes Carter the other way.
Well, that's my problem with the game. He could have tapped it in. He tried to dunk it in. And too many kids do that as opposed to just tapping the ball and putting the ball right in the basket.
McGrady inhales the rebound. Brown can't hit from outside. Here comes Hughes, 3-on-1. Royal Cowboy inside. Hughes to the right.
Well, Larry Hughes is playing a significant part right now. I think the youngster is getting his confidence, and that's what he needs. He just needs a good ball game, and he and Alvin are playing together, and I like that.
Comes Brown trying to cultivate something inside. Carter double out to Oakley. Another wide open shot. Another miss. An 18th rebound hauled down by Davis. Ball knocked away and a Philadelphia foul. It'll be on McKee, and he is hit with his third. As you see, Charles Oakley, one of the veterans and a guy who chose to re-sign with Hughes going to the sideline for Philadelphia. Spurs trailing in the third quarter to Houston, and other scores. Oakley. Here comes Carter. fires it inside to Oakley. Loose, picked up by Iverson. He's off to the races. Into the defense. Rejected by McGrady. Up to McGee. What charisma these 76ers have.
Great block by McGrady and great hustling and getting the loose ball. You know, Allen seems to be shaking that sore arm. I'm wondering, did he hurt himself again?
Sixers have the lead. Carter tries to erase it and does.
Well, Butch Carter said the one thing that he knew about Vince Carter is that in the fourth quarter he will show up regardless of how he plays.
The defender fell. And a foul on D. Brown. That is the third on Brown off the bench.
Well, and Allen is cupping at it, and look, McGrady comes over. That's just a great play because he didn't throw his body into Allen. He jumped up, and it shows this kid's athleticism on that block.
It's like he's playing tennis. Iverson tonight from the free throw line, now 3 of 7. He comes in as a 70% free throw shooter. Sixers have lost 2 consecutive games coming into tonight. From Hampton, Virginia, Allen Iverson.
Well, I was wondering about his wrist when he fell the last time. He got up and he shook his arm a little bit, but it appears in shooting these free throws, what you do is give somebody the ball on offense and you can truly find out whether they're hurt or not.
Under 4 to play. 32 for Iverson. A marvelous display. Drive by McGrady with a hand check by Snow and a foul called on Eric Snow.
I think that the chance that he took, you know, is about to pay off because this young man certainly has impressed me here tonight. But all the small things will win the game. The boxing out, the switching, the talking, the covering passes. Sensationalism will not win at this point. What's got to win is fundamentals, and that's what Brian Brown worked on a lot today. But Toronto has most of the experienced players. It's not a good shot.
Geiger another miss. He's gone 3 of 14 tonight and has been booed throughout the game.
Well, it's not the person that you want taking that shot at that time.
Carter trying for the tie. Another rebound by Lynch. He triggers it off to Iverson, who slashes his other way. With a nice move on Williams, and down it goes for Allen Iverson. 34 points.
Well, he doesn't have any conscience, that's for sure.
There's something special about the folks who work at AutoZone. The fact that they know more than a thing or two about looking up parts and solving problems. Their willingness to go the extra mile. And their belief in doing what's right. So it's no wonder why millions of customers turn to us each week for help in getting back on the road. Because working at AutoZone means taking pride in taking care of people.
This Christmas,
I am sick and tired of losing.
it's better to give than receive. From director Oliver Stone, any given Sunday, life is a contact sport. Rated R. Starts Wednesday, December 22nd.
Hello? Server? Got it.
Total participation, and this means everyone, all working to make sure you get the absolute best experience possible.
Mr. Thurber, you're all set.
Introducing 5-Star, a new approach to selling and servicing cars and trucks. It's better. We'll prove it. Only where you see these signs.
I tell you what, there are so many jaw-dropping plays he has made tonight. This one Another in the
tough
window.
play. Creates space, the jab step, he steps back and he takes the shot. The one thing that Allen Iverson has going for him, Kevin, is that he has unbelievable belief in his ability. And not just when things are going well, when things are not going well for him, he still has that unusual attribute of believing that he is able to play. As I told you, when Allen misses a shot, he thinks there's something wrong with the rim, not that there's something wrong with himself.
76ers were down by 17 back in the first half. Carter finally gets it into Alvin Williams.
And I like this. Larry came out aggressive. He picked up his lead. He's carrying 4-point lead, but he's still going after him, and that's great.
It's Brown working on Snow. Carter and McKee. Beautiful shot by Carter.
Very nice shot. Went to the basket, jumped over him, and really realizes that, you know, especially for a young player, that they rely, with all the experience that they've picked up in the last 2 years, they still rely on this young man, you know, when it's game time.
Iverson the try, slicing his way down the lane. And a foul. It's on Geiger. 5 on him tonight with 2:19 to play.
You know, Kevin, what is interesting is that Toronto, in the last 2 years, have picked up 6 new players. And in those 6 new players that they've picked up, they have 348 playoff game experience out of those guys. But yet you have Carter taking the shot at the end of the game.
2 of 2 from the line tonight. You saw Willis on the bench, and here is Antonio Davis, who for the last 6 years has been backing up Dale Davis at Indiana and Rick Smits. He wanted to become a starter, and he gave the Pacers a list of teams he'd like to go to. At the top of the list, the Toronto Raptors.
Well, and I think that was the good fortune that Butch Carter had when he tried to pick up experience and blend them in, and particularly with this young kid Carter that he's got. Because this experience helps. He's got Carter out there now, Williams, and 3 very experienced players.
Geiger, Oakley is in. He's 3 of 14. 9 points for Geiger. He's not afraid to shoot. We know that. He is not afraid to shoot.
Well, he's not afraid to shoot, but I probably would have been hollering low on that one. You know, there's some baskets that you want to go in at certain times in hopes that a person will take it again at the wrong time.
Carter. Tapped by Oakley. Loose ball inside. Foul is called. Geiger was in the vicinity. And Lynch picks up his 5th.
Well, and I think, you know, I mean, Lynch is working hard. Geiger's working hard. I think Geiger deserves an awful lot of credit, particularly with who the 76ers have lost in that front line.
Oakley was traded for Marcus Camby, leaving the New York Knicks, and now a Raptor. First free throw tonight for Oakley. He has 12 rebounds. And he makes it a 2-point game with 1:45 to play.
Well, it's amazing how Charles Oakley does things in a subtle manner. They're not exciting. You know, a rebound, a loose ball, a putback, you know, a free throw. And that's the kind of experience that you need, you know, at this point of the game. Sensational things are not just what you need. You need intelligence and game experience now.
75% free throw shooter. Hits the second one. 1-point game with 1:42 to play. It's Snow to Iverson. Doubled. Out to Lynch.
Great shot, particularly because he hasn't been shooting, and that's how steady he is. He's another one of those players that's been around, has got experience, and hits a big shot at a big moment.
And he hits his first point since the first quarter.
Well, and again, it doesn't matter how many you make, it's when you make them, and that's a big 2.
D. Brown, shot clock at 8. Screen by Davis, the drive into Snow, and a foul called on Eric Snow. He's got 3.
Yeah, this is the intensity that's involved. He stuck and came out. Could have gone either way, but Snow might have moved in a little bit.
D. Brown, a 50% free throw shooter this year, 82% for his career. shooting 69% from the free throw line tonight. 66% shooting for Philadelphia. Sixers by 2. McKee. Harder to defend. Screen by Lynch. Mismatch against Oakland. McKee tries to exploit it. Geiger taps it. Saved by Iverson.
Great play by Geiger, though. He got a fingertip on him, then Allen used his athleticism to run it down. Geiger's probably not gotten as much credit as he deserves based on what he's doing on that bad leg.
Here comes Snow, an open 15-footer. Geiger volleyballs it again. Saved by Iverson. Saved by McKee, but he steps out of bounds.
Geiger's made some great plays. Very small thing. Here's Geiger's play. He gets just a fingertip on it. Then they run it down. You know what I mean? The second one, the same thing. He just gets a fingertip on him and he out hustles him for the loose balls.
They did give.
It's a lot of things that are good, you know, and but I know when I rank in the top 2 or 3, I don't need for people to pump that up or say it. When I go play against a guy, he knows to get his rest the night before. You know, he gets Ryder the next day. You know what I mean? So I think with my peers, that's all that matters to me.
J.R. Ryder will be a part of our Inside the NBA program with Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Peter Vesey immediately following our game here at the First Union Arena in Philadelphia. 32 seconds to play. Sixers by 2. They trailed by 17 in the first half and 14 at halftime. Nine seconds, the different shot clock, game clock. Snow piercing inside. McKee partially deflected. Geiger gobbles it up. Brown fouls Iverson. Boy, Geiger has come up big here late in the game.
Come up real big. You know, the interesting thing about Geiger, he's probably played more minutes, Kevin, than he's ever played in the game. I'm jumping all over him early in the game. The crowd's jumping all over him. You know, hey, and this guy is the reason why they're winning this game right now, just by getting little things, little fingertips on the ball.
Philadelphia is a perfect 7 of 7 from the free throw line in the fourth quarter until right there. We saw Pat Croce, the president of the 76ers. There he is. And a timeout taken by Toronto with 12 seconds to play. The Sixers by 3. Bum eye and all, Geiger has been an influence in this second half. John with the foul to give. Tell me about what the Raptors can do in the final 12 seconds, down by 3.
Well, you know, the first thing I think that they're going to come down. If they get a good look with a 3, they're going to take it. You don't have it 12 seconds to go. You know, but Larry Brown also is going to extend his pressure and try to really stay out on the 3-point shooters. You know what I mean? I would look for one of the bigger guys to be open more than one of the smaller. They're going to try to look for the 3, not unless they get a totally unmolested, real quick 2-point shot.
Del Curry is out there. Del Curry is at the top of your screen. Last year's leading 3-point shooter in the NBA.
Out for a purpose. They're gonna set screens for him.
McGrady is out there with Brown, Carter, Davis, and Curry.
D. Brown has hit some big 3s. He has one. They went for the quick 2.
Inside the Davis, they get the quick 2. Just under 8 seconds to play. 1-point game. It goes to Iverson. The quick foul is by D. Brown on Allen Iverson. What do you think of the strategy?
I think it was good. I mean, if you didn't have the 3, you know, D was probing for the 3. He made a fast decision. He got the ball inside, and they got the 2. You know, a lot of times you want the 3, especially with 12 seconds to go, but you can't throw up just a desperation shot, so they came up with it. Still have a lot of time on this clock.
Willis will check in because of his size and possible rebound in the second free throw by Iverson. Brown will check out. Iverson from the line tonight has gone 8 of 11. 33 points with 34 shot attempts from the field. 2-point game. 3-point game and a Toronto timeout. Now you start thinking about the three. The third best three-point shooting team in the NBA. And that guy led the league last year with Milwaukee, Del Curry.
Well, Del Curry is out there. Also, D. Brown has hit some big threes, but I don't think the 76ers are going to stand back and just let them get uncontested looks. If they can get a real quick two, call timeout, real quick two, and execute a foul real quickly, they can be in the same position. But
bring the inbound. Here comes Brown.
Yeah, he looked for it. He's going again. Same thing. 1 second. Now we got to commit the foul. It's not enough time. Well, he got a hand on it. Got a hand on it.
9/10 of a second remaining. It's a 1-point game. 92-91. 76ers lead. They'll shoot foul shots at the other end.
God knows what he'll do.
Snow. He hits it. So it is a 2-point game. He elects to take the shot. And Toronto will take and burn their final timeout of the night, trailing by 2, but plenty of time to get the shot off.
Well, and by going for the twos that they've gone for, this
record at home. Toronto beating Indiana last night. 13-8 record coming into this evening. And remember again, Toronto, the third best three-point shooting team in the NBA. As you take a look at general manager Billy King, former Duke star, who is in charge of the front office for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Well, one thing for sure now, defensively, you got to be afraid of the foul. You want them to throw it deep on the floor, deep meaning away from the basket, but you've got to be careful because they can now go to the basket and really be careful.
Carter, good at the gun. Oh, he's short, freezing the rim. Carter can't hit. And the Philadelphia 76ers, led by Allen Iverson's incredible night of 37 points, wins the duel with Vince Carter. Carter finishes with 19. The final shot again.
Well, and the interesting thing about it, when they needed threes, they took twos. When they needed a two, they took a three. It's a hell of a game, Kevin. And you can't predict it. You've got to take what the defense gives you.
And he shot over Bruce Bowen, who is a pretty good defensive player. Altered the shot ever so slightly. The 76ers are back to 500. Iverson is back, and Hale and Hardy, and we send it over to Craig Sager.
To put the Skids to their losing ways tonight. Would they succeed at the Hive? Well, early on, watch Kevin Garnett with a nice look to Radoslav Nesterovic, the hoop, and one. But Baron Davis started turning things around. He was a one-man show. First on the defensive end, Wally Serbiak to the hole. But look how high Baron Davis gets and swats it away, and later with the steal. And Kenny says, let me take this play. Go ahead.
We're talking about the flu. He said, this dunk has the flu. It's sick.
Let's see it again.
Look at the Minnesota bench. Look at guys jumping on the Minnesota bench. This is crazy.
Baron Davis.
It's ill.
Going highlight crazy. And then Anthony Mason, who had 16, 13, and 8 from David Wesley, part of a 23-6 run. Malik Sealy getting Minnesota back in this thing. What a night for Malik. 27 points. 90-88 they're down. And then after 10 straight misses, Terrell Brandon finally gets one to go. And it ties the game at 94. Game still tied at 96. Where do you go if you're Charlotte? You go to your leading scorer. That'd be Eddie Jones. That'd be beyond the arc, and that'd be good. 19 points, 4 steals on the night for the league leader in steals, Eddie Jones. And the Charlotte Hornets, they got the best home record in the East. They are now 10-1 in their place. 103-98 winners over the Minnesota Timberwolves. Sealy going for 27. Jones going for 19 for Charlotte as the Hornets win it by 5. And Minnesota, boy, they are really struggling now. 0-7 in December. Milwaukee and Orlando playing at the O-Arena. Glenn Robinson hits the early 3. Ray Allen to Sam Cassell. Oh, nice little pump fake on Darrell Armstrong. 40-17 Bucks after 1. Little defense by the blue shirts. Vinny Del Negro. Who wants to shoot this thing? What an unselfish team. And the big dog finishes it off. 49-32. It's 68-52 at the break. Doc Rivers guys down. Ray Allen, 3. And it's good. 84-70. And then temper. They get a little testy here. And Bo Outlaw and Danny Manning getting hooked up, and then there's Scott Williams. And what is Darrell Armstrong doing getting in there with that? 2 S's, 2 L's is in there.
He's the one who was guarding Mitch Richmond that night.
And he heard that the AutoZone was going to be just that very game. 116-99, the Milwaukee Bucks, easy winners over the Orlando Magic. Now 0-6 when they don't score 100 points. Darrell Armstrong only going for 7 on 3 out of 11 shooting. Ray Allen with 29. The big dog goes for 25. Utah Jazz, Boston Celtics, Fleet Center, Antoine Walker. A 36-point, 12-rebound night. He had 11 points in the first quarter as he backed the mailman down, and then playing beat the clock and breaking the glass at the Fleet Center, but it goes. They're up after 1. But soon it would be the Utah Jazz with the old Stockton to Malone thing working. Stockton 7 assists on the night. Malone had 27 points and 8 rebounds, and the Utah Jazz would go to 15-7 and 3-0 on their 7-game trip. 96-86 winners over the Boston Celtics. Now let me explain the Celtics.